Welcome back to The Person Everyone Needs. I am your host, Webb Hoggard. Today I want to just bring you a quick thought. It's one of the first, I have these things in my life that I call maxims or axioms. They're just little phrases that help me center my life. I've told you about many of them. Preparation is the attitude of life. Time with is never time wasted. These are just little phrases that I remind myself when I need some direction in my life. I decided years ago the kind of person that I want to be. I wrote those things down, and then it helped me to keep driving those points together when I didn't want to be those things. So I want to tell you one of the very first ones that I ever felt led to write down, and it was, where your focus is, there will be your progress. Where your focus is, there will be your progress. So I know there's a lot of things in our life that we want to see succeed. We want to see things get better. But I just wanted to let you know, and I just want to talk to you for a few moments, that there's nothing that you are going to make better. There's very few things in your life that are going to be better with a lack of attention. If you want to make something better, you need to give it your full attention. Now, there are some things in your life, every once in a while, you'll find something that is like, I forgot all about that thing, and here it is. It's done as a blessing. So I'm not saying like it'll never happen, but if you want a tried and true way of understanding where you need to see your increase, it is where you're going to put your attention. So this year, maybe you want to see some increase in the way in your physical health. Okay, we're going to have to give attention to it. You're not going to accidentally stumble into being a healthy person. Maybe this year you want to start a retirement fund, or you want to start saving enough money that you feel like you can start accumulating things. You say financially, I'm in a mess. Well, you need to give some attention to it. Maybe you need some education. Maybe you need a Dave Ramsey course. Maybe you need to start saving. Maybe you need to take it to a friend that knows how to handle finances and let them look at your budget. Maybe you need to get a budget. Maybe in your life there's some areas that you want to see something get better. Maybe it's a relationship with your kids. You're saying to yourself, like, I don't know, I've already messed up there. I don't even know what to do. Well, I can just tell you, like, if you'll put your attention, wherever it is that you put your attention, that's where you will see the increase of your life. So one of those things that I like to mention in that is I'm a pastor. So I say all the time with somebody who's struggling with church, I don't really feel like going to church anymore. I don't want to go to church, or I don't like the church I'm going to, whatever it is. Well, the reason most likely you don't like it is, number one, you're not very involved with it. Probably every once in a while somebody will get burned out, and I'm not saying like that's impossible, but usually people get uninterested in church because they have a lack of interest or lack of involvement, not because they are over-involved. Over-involved people usually have the support system that once they are completely burned out, they have people around them that will help encourage them through it. But people who are uninvolved constantly find themselves outside of the orbit of what's happening. And so I tell people, if you want, if I hadn't have served, I wouldn't have stayed. That was another one of those phrases that I like to say. But serving is so important. Finding a place to involve yourself. I'll tell you something else with church. Investing. If you're not tithing, if you're not giving, if you're not financially blessing the place that you're attending, you're not going to have strong ties there. You're not going to be bent toward, you're not going to be angled in the right direction, because the truth is you don't have an investment there. You don't have any reason to continuously bring your attention back to it. So if you want to ensure, or if you want to increase your interest, if you would like to encourage the interest of your kids, don't do the bare minimum. Bring them there. Make sure that they're there as often as you possibly can. Engage, involve, invest. Invite others. And I was telling my church even recently, if there's an issue with inviting people to your church, maybe you're embarrassed of it, or there's something about it you don't like, well, let's work on that thing to fix it. What is the issue? What is the thing you won't fix? Let's go fix it so that you can freely and happily invite folks. My point in saying all these things is just that if you want to increase somewhere, if you want something to get better, you've got to pay attention to it. Now, there is one more caveat to this. If it's that you're wanting a better relationship with somebody, then yes, first of all, you are going to have to pay them some attention. But I want to also warn you, and I guess I can't really get off this point without making this clear. You can only assume the responsibility of 50% of your relationship. Now, you have to give 100% in order to enrich it, but you can only assume 50% of the responsibility. What I will tell you, though, is that it's very hard to re-spark a marriage or build a relationship if one person is waiting for the other person to go first. Real servants, they're always willing to go first. They're willing to help others go first. And so serve into it, invest in those relationships, bless when you don't feel like you've been blessed, encourage when you don't feel very encouraged, help when you don't really feel like you've been helped. Refresh others. Proverbs says that he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Also, we've been called to be salt and light in this world. And so there's another proverb that I love. It says, as you walk toward the horizon, everything else is also illuminated. So the more light you are walking toward, the more you'll understand and see what everything else, around you is how it's going. So I just want to encourage you today that if there's an area in your life that you want to see increase, that you want to see things blossom, that you want to see things get better than what they've been, then put your attention to it. Put some effort behind it. Decide for the next 30 or 60 or 90 days, I'm going to do something every single day to move in that direction. Maybe it's in an area of intellect. So you say to yourself, every single day I'm going to listen to a podcast. Every single day I'm going to read a chapter of a book. Every single day I'm going to open my Bible. I'm going to make sure I'm getting back to the Bible. I want a relationship with Jesus to be better. Every single day I'm going to stop looking at everything else and I'm going to start looking to him. So when I was growing up, I remember my dad, we worked at a diner. My dad owned a diner, and so we got this newspaper every day. So it was during the time of my life where I loved watching Sports Center and that kind of things. My love of sports was at the height. But we used to get newspapers, and I would read the sports section every single day. I would read the stats. I would look where the standings are. I would see who was doing the best of in each of these positions. I could tell you from the 1998 season in that era right there, I can tell you every person who played on the Denver Broncos. I could tell you every person who played at the Atlanta Braves. I could tell you every person who played on the Chicago Bulls. Like, I was super into all of those stats. And now you could look back on those days and you could find me with a piece of paper where I was writing out dream teams and the best team, because I was putting all these teams together and I was writing football plays, and man, I was just completely overtaken. And that obsession afforded me nothing. I'm not a coach today. I'm not a teacher of strategic stats of the 1998 seasons or anything like that. So that obsession did not really afford me anything. It gives me some good talking points with people today, and so I'm not upset about it. But I wonder today if the obsession actually would be with social media and us trying to catch up and check in to all the things that other people are doing to live their lives. We want to continuously look at their highlight reel instead of making our own. What if we were to just start focusing on the areas that we wanted to see increase and not wasting our time in areas that we need no increase? When was the last time that something that you saw on social media changed your mood, changed your attitude? When was the last time something you saw, and that may even be positively, right now you might be fighting with me and being like, no, Webb, social media, it has been a blessing too. Of course it can be, but where's the most consistent blessing? Let me ask you, would you rather be blessed in your understanding of the things that you are checking out on social media, or would you rather be blessed in your finances? Would you rather be blessed in your health? Would you rather be blessed in your relationships? Would you rather be blessed in your wisdom and intellect? You ain't got but one life to live. So why don't you focus on the things that will bring great increase on your life? This is not to reject reading the paper or social media or to enjoy, watching sports and that kind of thing. I do all of those things. I enjoy all those things. And there are some times every once in a while I'll actually just read a book for the enjoyment of it. But most of what I have found in my life, the areas that I wanted to see success in, is because there was a time that I set aside and I said, I'm going to give my attention to it. And when I have given my attention to those things, that has been the area that I've seen great increase. And I want that for you. I want you to chase your dreams, and I want you to find them. I want you to make goals, and I want you to accomplish them. And the only way to do that is to decide to do something about it and then go and do something about it. So your focus will be where your progress is. What you focus on, what gets your attention, gets you. So whatever it is that you want to succeed in, give that your full attention. People who are alert to the things that they want to accomplish and they see great success, that's a person that everyone needs.